In the 8th century BC, a hard-scrabble farmer poet named Hesiod was walking the Boeotian hills when he was visited by the Muses.
Some geography now. So Hesiod is living in the same century as Homer. He's in Boeotia, which is northwest of Attica. Attica is famous for Athens. And then Homer, and scholars debate whether he's one poet or many, but he's across the Aegean Sea in Ionia. So Ionia is also considered ancient Greece. This is the modern-day Turkish coastline, so Anatolian coastline.
These goddesses of art and science demanded that Hesiod sing the history of the gods. Hesiod's Theogony is the earliest and most intact source of ancient Greek mythology, but the myths have been retold many times since.
Hesiod and Homer are oral poets. So Greece lost its ability to write for 400 years. So we always assume in the modern age that everything's progressing. We're becoming more sophisticated over time. But if you lived in Greece from the years 1200 BCE to 800 BCE, the Greek Dark Ages, you would be surrounded by things like giant palatial architecture, and you had no ability to recreate it. You'd be surrounded by these scripts, linear A and linear B from the Minoans and the Mycenaeans, the pre-Greeks, and you had no ability to read it. You had no writing of your own. And yet these poets kept the myth alive. They kept the tradition alive by memorizing and reciting their poems. Hesiod and Homer are the earliest extant poets of ancient Greece. So extant means we still have their works today. Hesiod has 2 poems. One of them is called Works and Days, which is basically like a self-help book. It's on how to live and farm. It's how we know Hesiod is a farmer. And the other one is called Theogony, which we're going to read now. So literally Theogony is the origin story, gonia, of the gods, theoi.
Theogony begins, like many poems of antiquity, with an invocation to the Muses. The Muses agree to gift Hesiod with divine knowledge, despite their low opinion of shepherds as mere bellies. They then warn Hesiod, "We know how to speak many false things, pseudea, as though they were genuine, etumoisin homoia, but we know, when we will, to utter true things, alēthea." First, we must remember that these Muses are the daughters of Zeus and Mnemosyne, the tightness of memory. Memory itself is fallible and selective. To make matters worse, the gods can deceive. Muses can choose to give you the truth, alēthea, but they can also choose to mislead, and they do not give you any mechanism for telling truth and deception apart.
There's the modern view that we lie to ourselves all the time, right? So an entrepreneur might convince themselves of a really bad idea, or a religious person might stray from God's truth. And yet the Greeks had this third category of lie, which was pseudea etumoisin homoia. You can think of it as the gods lying to you, right? A truth-shaped lie. And you're off the hook because you can't tell the difference between the lie and the truth. It's inspired, it's poetic, it's shaped like a story, it's coherent, it fits into your worldview, right? Our toddler is 3 years old. He comes to mom and dad for answers to all of his questions. We are his source of truth, and yet we lie to him all the time. And the same goes from poetry to politics. Pseudea etumoisin homoia, lies shaped like the truth.
Let us begin our song with the Muses of Helicon. They dance on soft feet around the deep blue spring and the altar of the almighty Zeus, son of Cronos. These Muses wash their tender bodies in Permesis, the horse's spring, and lead lovely dances upon the highest Helicon. By night, they arise, veiled in thick mist, praising Zeus. One day, they taught Hesiod a glorious song while I was shepherding my lambs. These were the first words the goddesses of Olympus, the daughters of Zeus, said to me. "Shepherds of the wilderness, wretched things of shame, mere bellies you are. We know how to speak many false things as though they were true, but we know, when we wish, how to utter the truth." So spoke the ready-voiced daughters of great Zeus, and they gave me a rod, a shoot of sturdy laurel, a marvelous thing. They breathed into me a divine voice to celebrate both the future and the past. They bade me sing of the race of the blessed gods who exist eternally, and always to sing of the Muses themselves, both first and last. Mnemosyne, memory, who reigns over the hills of Alēthea, bore the Muses in Pieria from her union with Zeus. They were born as a forgetting of all human ills and a rest from every sorrow. For 9 nights, wise Zeus lay with her, entering her holy bed remote from the immortals. When a year had passed and the seasons came round, she bore 9 daughters, all of one mind. Their hearts are set upon song and their spirits are free from care, dwelling in their beautiful homes and bright dancing halls a little way from the peak of snowy Olympus. Beside them, the Graces and Himeris, desire, live in delight. Uttering a lovely voice through their lips, the Muses sing the law of all things and the goodly ways of the immortals. These things then the Muses who dwell in Olympus sang, 9 daughters begotten by great Zeus. Cleo and Euterpe, Thalea, Melpomene and Terpsichore, and Erato and Polyhymnia and Urania and Calliope? Calliope is the chiefest of them all because she attends to princes. Whichever heaven-nourished prince the Muses choose to honor and look upon from the moment of his birth, they pour sweet dew upon his tongue, and his words come out pleasing and strong. A man may live in dread because his heart is distressed, yet when a singer, the servant of the Muses, sings about the glorious deeds of men and above the blessed gods who inhabit Olympus, at once the man forgets his heaviness. Hail, children of Zeus, grant lovely song and celebrate the holy race of the deathless gods who are forever, those that were born of earth and starry heaven and gloomy night, and those reared by briny sea. Tell how at the first gods and earth came to be, and rivers and the boundless sea with its raging swell, and the gleaming stars and the wide heaven above. Tell of the gods who were born of them, givers of good things, and how they divided their wealth, and how they shared their honors amongst them, and also how at the first they took many-folded Olympus. These things declare to me from the beginning, you Muses who dwell in the house of Olympus, and tell me which of them first came to be.
The poets of antiquity invoked the Muses because they believed clear speech, memory, and beauty came from beyond the self. So by starting their work with an invocation, they're shifting from a state of anxiety and ego to a state of rapture and flow.
The 9 Muses are named Calliope, muse of epic poetry, Cleo, history, Euterpe, music, Thalia, comedy, Melpomene, tragedy, Terpsichore, dance, Erato, love poetry, Polyhymnia, hymns, and Urania, astronomy.
You don't have to remember all the names. They will come up again in this course, but you may want to keep 1 or 2 in your pocket. You never know when you might need an invocation to unlock your own creative genius. In the next lesson, we're going to learn from the freshly inspired Hesiod about the origins of the Greek mythical universe. And we're going to open Ovid's Metamorphoses. So Ovid is a Roman poet writing in the 1st century AD, and we're going to learn about the origins of the universe as told by the Roman mythical account as well.